Hello and welcome to the second week of September, or whenever you take this practice. Following this idea of resetting, this week we're extending it to feel a bit of a refresh within our bodies with a few twists. Still keeping it simple, but hopefully with some substance so that we can rediscover our foundations a little bit. So in a comfortable seated position, feel into your natural breath patterns. And I like to include what's called Ujjayi breath, which is a slight constriction at the back of the throat. It creates a bit of a vibration. It can help sometimes to lower the chin down and back slightly. And you may feel that this vibration starts to warm things up a little bit. Settles that nervous system to a more peaceful pace. It's also called ocean breath, so you can feel into what that means to you. And as we incorporate some movement into the body, we're going to imagine we've got some silk threads attached to each shoulder, and they are being teased from side to side. You can use your hands like I am for this imagery, or you can keep your hands rested on your knees, whatever feels more comfortable. We're just going to feel into this motion with a sense of lightness and fluidity and ease. And maybe this motion begins forming a figure of 8. The shoulders rolling slightly back on each of their turn. And I've got my hands up again to help me find this, but you can keep them down on your knees also. And explore this pattern, maybe finding a bit more depth to it, letting your head echo. Maybe taking the shoulders into a more circular backwards and forwards motion. But there's no right or wrong to this. Just find what feels good within your body to help shift some energy and awaken that torso. Feeling the breath as it moves within, and giving a little bit of a shimmy to finish there, rolling around before finding some stillness. We're going to put our left foot gently in front of our right in the seated position. You can put blocks or cushions underneath you if that's more comfortable. And with a bit of a rocking motion, we're going to ease ourselves forward very, very slightly, using the hands to support and guide us. Going as far as feels comfortable, so there is a release in the back of the hips along those buttock muscles. Maintaining a sense of motion and fluidity as we roll back up to seated. We're going to take that left knee up, placing the foot upon the floor. The foot is in line with the outside of the hip, and taking that left knee with the right hand and gently twisting over that left shoulder, looking behind you, keeping length on every inhale that you take through that spine, creating space, and with every exhale softening and easing a bit more before releasing that back around to the front and taking that foot down and replacing it so that now your right foot's in front. And again, moving your way down and over, forward, over these legs to feel that release once more in the back, maintaining that fluidity of movement, bringing it up very softly, breathing and moving all the time. Before taking that right knee up, right foot upon the floor, grabbing right knee with left hand, inhale, exhale, looking over that shoulder again. And again, every inhale that you take is creating more space within that spine, and every exhale is softening into that extra space. And when you're ready, bring that back around to the front, maybe rolling your shoulders back to reset and bring yourself onto all fours to join me in some cat-cows. Inhale, opening that front of body. Exhale, dropping the gaze towards the navel and rounding off that back. Inhale, gaze up, open. Exhale, closing that front body and squeezing up. Inhale, release. Exhale, and finding your own rhythm with this. Always nice to have a little heart massage by a toddler. And then we're going to start to ripple through this. So the inhale, we're going to ripple our body forward slightly. Exhale, following the tailbone back. Inhale, rounding that back forwards. Exhale, tipping it back. Spine fluid like the undulating waves of the ocean. Again, feeling into this water, letting it cleanse and refresh our bodies before taking it all the way back, tailbone to heels, and resting into the child's pose. Using blocks or cushions under the forehead if that feels more comfortable. And hopefully you don't have a toddler trying to roll on your head at this point, so that you can really rest into the breath. And we're going to come up again into a rolling cat-cow, this time taking the breath down all the way to child's pose. So rippling forward on the inhale, rippling all the way back to child on the exhale. Forwards and back, finding a release. Moving and shifting that energy through the body, releasing any points of tension that are being held. Flowing with the breath. And we're eventually going to bring this all the way forward onto our tummies, finding a bit of a mini cobra, releasing that neck, front of neck and top chest forwards. You can take it a bit higher if that feels comfortable in your practice today, into a higher cobra. Exhale, lower the body, inhale, ripple all the way up to tabletop, tuck toes, and then lift the tailbone up into a soft downward dog. You are welcome to stay in a tabletop or child's pose if that feels more comfortable today. If you're in a downward dog, use this to pad it out, keeping a softness in the knees and just feeling that release at the back of the legs. Exhale, soften the knees. Inhale, walk your feet towards your hands. Barely on the thighs, just briefly before you roll up on an inhale, vertebrae by vertebrae. On the next inhale, raise your hands up to the sky. Exhale, hinge forwards from your hips, hands on your thighs, knees, shins, ankles, or ground if you can get there. Inhale, look halfway up. Exhale, take yourself down to your tabletop mini push-up, all the way up to a mini cobra, full cobra. Exhale, ripple up to hands and knees, tuck your toes and lift your tailbone up into downward dog. We're not going to linger here. We're going to step forwards with our left leg into a low lunge. You can use blocks to bring the ground up a little bit if that feels more comfortable, or your hands on your knees. Find a stable position first of all within these legs. And the next inhale, raise these arms up to the sky. Exhale, open towards your left shoulder, looking behind you in that low lunge twist. If this feels unsteady at all, feel free to keep your hands on your knees and just open your shoulders in this twist. Keep steady in these legs wherever you are. Bring the arms back on an inhale up, and then exhale, hands down to the ground, back into your tabletop. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Tuck these toes, lift the tailbone into downward dog before stepping that right foot between your hands into a low lunge again. Finding a steadiness in the position first of all. Inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, twisting and opening over to that right shoulder, looking behind you. Space between the vertebrae, softening the shoulders away from the ears, softening your breath. And then the next inhale in, bring these arms back up high. Exhale, lower them down to the floor. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, mini push-up chaturanga. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Tuck these toes into your downward dog. Take a few long, deep breaths in this place. Gaze to navel as your focus draws inwards, whilst your whole back body is lengthening from your hands all the way down to your heels. On the next inhale, we're going to step our left foot between our hands, this time reaching all the way up into a warrior one. Exhale, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, open into a twist to your left side. Looking over that left shoulder. Inhale, take the arms back up to center. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale, back to tabletop or half plank or even full plank if you're feeling in the mood today. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, release up to cobra, then all the way to tabletop. Tuck those toes back to downward dog. This time, inhale, we're going to step through with that right foot into our warrior one, reaching the arms up to the sky. Exhale, settle. Inhale, lift through the spine. Exhale, open into that twist to your right. Expanding out through both of your hands. Finding a spaciousness to this twist as you feel a length through that whole front of left leg. Inhale, raise arms up to center. Exhale, touch the earth. Inhale to tabletop, half plank or full plank. Exhale through chaturanga down to the earth. Inhale through a mini cobra all the way back up to your tabletop, and then exhale down into child's pose. A moment to recalibrate, reconnect. My knees are slightly apart on this child's pose, and I'm resting between them, feeling my tummy breathing against my thighs. Turning the focus inwards. When you're ready, inhale up to tabletop, exhale down to a seated, comfortable position with your right leg extended sideways, your left leg in a half butterfly in front of you. You can use a cushion underneath your left knee if that's more comfortable. Find space in that spine and integrity in that right leg, maybe flexing the foot up, toes pointed up, and gently crawl your hands forward, releasing the back of your hips. Breathing, finding space, reaching forward with your heart space. Maybe reaching forward a little bit further if that is accessible for you today. Softening gently. And it really doesn't matter how near the earth your torso gets. You may be more upright as long as there is an extension through the sternum, through that heart space upwards, and a release along the back body and these hips. Wherever you are, bring your body back up and take your left ankle in your right hand, reach up, and then inhale with your left arm. Exhale, soften your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, reach up and over to the right side, over that right leg. The emphasis is stretching up and away. You can look towards your left middle finger, feeling length along that left side of body, right down into the crevice of your hip. Exhale, take your gaze down. Inhale, bring yourself back, up, and we're going to take that all on the other side. So bring your right foot forward in a half butterfly, left foot extended out using a cushion if needed. Flexing your left foot, and it doesn't matter what angle this left leg is, bringing it whatever place feels comfortable for you, and then gently bringing that torso forwards over the right leg. Again, reaching forward through the heart space and going as far down as your body needs today. You can use blocks under your head to find a restful position here. And bring yourself all the way back. And I'm about to have a little assistant join me, grabbing that right angle with left hand. And then inhaling, bringing that right arm up. Exhale, soften the shoulder away from the ear. Inhale, lengthen through the spine and reaching up and over into that side stretch, over that left leg this time. Keep lengthening through the spine. My little camera lady's about to adjust the equipment. Oh, there she is. She's back again. And finding length and space in this side stretch. Next exhale, focus down. Inhale, bring your body all the way back up. And whilst my little one goes off with her Gandalf staff, we're going to bring ourselves into a seated position and bring our knees close to our chest, giving them a bit of a hug. Lowering the head between the knees, maybe rocking from side to side. bringing everything inwards and just checking in with yourself while you're there. Feel free to stay in your personal embrace as long as you wish. Whenever you are ready, bringing your body into a semi-supine position, feet hip width apart, palms facing downwards. And we're going to bring a cushion or rolled up blanket, whatever you have to hand, to beneath your hips for a restorative bridge. One of my favourite restorative positions. Notice how it feels in the body, softening the mind, lowering the pace, and lingering here as long as you desire. Whenever you are ready, gently removing that cushion or blanket from your hips, bringing the feet closer together, arms outstretched to the side, and drop those knees to the left side of body in a supine twist, looking over your right shoulder. You can use a cushion underneath your knees if that's more comfortable. Bring the earth higher up. And settling here, resetting the spine. Before bringing the knees back up to center and dropping the knees down to the right side. Softening and surrendering to any distractions that may be arising around you. Bringing the knees back up to center, and let's stretch these legs out, let your feet open, your palms face up, bring them a bit closer to your body, and rest in this Shavasana. Perhaps feeling an expanding spaciousness of a lake as your body spreads upon the earth, open to the sky. A sense of weightlessness, as if gently floating upon that lake, as it glistens, cleanses, and refreshes. You may want to stay here for a while, or you may need to move about your day once more. My little girl wants me to read her a story here, so for now I shall say a huge thank you for joining me, and there will be a new video up next week, so for instant updates hit that subscribe button. See you soon.